recognized symbol of excellence for your entertainment.
Blah, blah.
Welcome to Machino Music, the show that puts the music in Machino music, with your host, me, Brett Strong. Today on Machino Music, it's Madonna movie ranking. Not a ranking of her discography, but her filmography. Good afternoon, everybody. Madonna movie ranking. Not a discography, but a filmography, because, really, what other artist, what other huge superstar, pop star, goddess has as pretty well as extensive a filmography as a discography? So, thought this is something different. Let's have a lot of fun here and talk about some of Madonna's movies. Now, I don't own all of these movies, but I have seen every one of them. I'm wearing my Britney shirt because, I don't have a Madonna shirt, and also Madonna and Britney kissed. And Christina Aguilera got the sloppy seconds. So let's get right into this. There are 12 movies that Madonna has starred in, and we're only talking about the movies that she's had like a starring role, not like any of the cameo movies. She had one, like the movie 4 Rooms. She was just only in like one scene that was an anthology film. And she was in this scene, I believe, directed by Quentin Tarantino. So nothing like that. Like, she's got to be like the whole duration of the movie. So let's get right to it. Starting at number 12 from 2000, The Next Best Thing. Now, this is not a very good movie. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. It's Madonna starring with Rupert Everett. It was kind of not a good time, let's say, for gay issues. They tried to talk about, what was going on in the LGBTQ community. It was just not a good time for it. And actually, Roger Ebert, famed film critic, said of this movie, it is a garage sale of gay issues. Pretty much sums it up right there. It's like a pick and grab. I don't really remember it. I think I only saw it once. But yeah, that's why it's at the bottom. Next up at number 11, really interesting movie from 1979, A Certain Sacrifice. Now, this is not a very good movie, but as like a historical artifact in the history of Madonna, like, this is well before Madonna. This is 1979. Probably filmed a lot earlier. And really all I remember of the movie is that it's in New York, set, very kind of gritty 70s New York. But it's like Madonna's is like this struggling artist, which she kind of was at the time. She was in a group called the Breakfast Club at this time. And yeah, it's just like it's an interesting part of Madonna history, just not a very good movie. It's kind of boring, kind of sloggy, bit of a slog to get through. But yeah, an interesting enough movie. I mean, if you just want to see it, if you're a fan of Madonna, I would say definitely try and track it down. Next at number 10 from 2002, Swept Away. Now, this was a remake of an Italian film from 1974. I actually like the Italian version. I've seen that. It's actually a really good movie. But this Madonna, I mean, it's not good. It's considered like to be one of the worst movies ever made. But I will give it has absolutely beautiful cinematography. So if you just like, nice locations, like tropical locations on film, watch it for that. And pretty much everything else is poo-poo in the toilet. Next at number 9, this was hard to kind of put this one in somewhere, but a movie called The Dangerous Game. Madonna starring with Harvey Keitel, 1993, I believe this movie came out. And, it's not bad. It's kind of just a thriller, very dark, very gritty kind of thriller. The only thing I really remember of this time, Madonna appeared on Saturday Night Live Harvey Keitel was the host of the show. Madonna was a musical guest. Great performance, so good. Love the Madonna performance. She also appeared in the opening sketch. Like, that's what I love about Madonna. She's got like a great sense of humor. She can laugh at herself. And, you know, say what you want about her now, but she's still Madonna. She's still awesome and just funny and has an awesome sense of humor. Coming in number 8 from 1986, Shanghai Surprise. Now, this one, another one, was kind of tough to rank, but I put it where it is because, I mean, it's a pretty notorious, awful movie. Like, it's like infamous disaster, this picture. Because at the time, like, it was, Madonna was with Sean Penn. They were married. Madonna was like the biggest pop star on the planet, and Sean Penn was known for punching out photographers because the paparazzi was following him all around because, you know, this is a star power couple right here. So they did a movie together. And, you know, good intentions, looks great. Sean Penn, you know, does a good performance. Madonna is okay. It's just not a very good movie. It's kind of boring. It looks great, got good cinematography. Shanghai Surprise, that's where it goes. Next up, from 1993, Body of Evidence. Actually, I'll just show this because this is basically what it is. It's a Basic Instinct ripoff. So here's my Basic Instinct DVD, special edition. It's basically what the movie is. Except, you know, it's like Madonna in the Sharon Stone role. But, you know, you got a breakout performance by Sharon Stone in this movie. And, you know, Michael Douglas at the time, yeah, hey, he's looking all right. You know, I mean, but Madonna's co-star, Willem Dafoe. Yeah, I don't want to see Willem Dafoe in sex scenes. Okay. I mean, this movie was known for like, it was hot. Like, if you want to see like Madonna at like peak hot, just like being like really sexy. Okay, you know, you're gonna get some of that, but I don't know. It's so trying to be this movie, which is a much better picture, that you can't help but think I'd rather watch Basic Instinct. So yeah, Body of Evidence. But I mean, it's not a bad movie. It just makes you think of Basic Instinct. So yeah, Body of Evidence. Next up at number 6 from 1996, EVITA. Now this was a big deal. I believe it won a lot of Academy Awards. Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. I'm not a huge musicals guy. I mean, I like a lot of early musicals, like 1930s, 40s, like 50s, and even into the 60s musicals. I'm kind of the classic era of musicals guy. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of like the later musicals. But yeah, the movie's about the Argentine hyphenate Eva Perón. And yeah, Madonna does a great performance. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. That was the big, huge song. Good performance by Madonna. Okay, the top 5 here, this is where you start getting into kind of the cream of the crop of the Madonna filmography. So here we go. This is kind of the big stuff here. Number 5, Truth or Dare from 1991. Now, overall, this is, I wouldn't say a great movie. I mean, it was all kind of a big deal at the time because it was like showing behind the scenes footage of Madonna. And then it would show the live concert footage from her Blonde Ambition tour. Like, this was like a fly on the wall experience. The life of Madonna when she was like on top of the world. 1991. I mean, she's just unstoppable. She was just huge. And it was like, I think the behind the scenes stuff isn't very interesting. It's kind of boring. But it's like, but the live concert stuff, whoa. To see Madonna at the height of her powers performing is just fantastic, insane. Some great performance footage. And the documentary, sort of behind the scenes stuff, is all filmed in black and white. And then the concert footage is filmed in full color. And it looks so good. Yeah, it's So really, for the live concert footage, Truth or Dare is a fantastic movie. For everything else, it's kind of like, you'll probably get kind of bored and probably annoyed by it, because it's just really a lot of nonsense. But, I mean, that's why it ranks where it does, because just for that concert footage, it's truly amazing. All right, number 4, Who's That Girl from 1987. This is another one. It's a really fun movie. I watched it again recently on cable TV. Yes, I still watch cable TV, one of the movie stations that you get there. And yeah, it's a really, really good movie for, you know, just wanting to be entertained. It's, I think, a lot of fun. It stars Griffin Dunne, who you probably know best from this movie, American Werewolf in London. He was the first guy to get killed, and then keeps coming back more and more decomposed. There he is there, I can't really see him. But the other guy's David Naughton, the actual American Werewolf. But yeah, he's in that. And also he was most famously in this picture. This is probably his most famous starring role, I would say. After Hours, Martin Scorsese. Fantastic movie. Really good. There he is there on the back with Terry Garr. But yeah, so Griffin Dunne is her co-star. He does a good job in this movie, but it kind of feels like he's just kind of in it. Like he's just there because, like, how can I pass up doing a movie with one of the biggest stars on the planet? You know, I mean, Madonna, again, 1987, she's still huge. So people, you know, want to be in the Madonna business. So let's keep making movies with Madonna, and we need some poor sap who's going to star next to her. Let's get, you know, Griffin Dunne wants to do it. Okay, we're in business. So, yeah, it's a fun movie for what it is. Madonna does an accent through the whole thing, which I don't know particularly works. It's a New York accent. It's kind of hard to listen to for most of the movie, but I don't know. She seems like she's having fun. And the opening sequence, the opening titles, is like animated, and you get Madonna kind of like as a little, like, Betty Boop. Yeah, I really love that opening sequence. Yeah, so it kind of starts you in a good mood, and you can't sort of help but be in a good mood watching this movie. And the theme song, the title song that Madonna did for the movie, Who's That Girl? ¿Quién es esta niña? She sings in Spanish on the song. Great song. It's just, like, it's such one of the best Madonna tunes. So, yeah, I would say Who's That Girl? Not bad. Worth checking out. It's a fun movie. Next up, from 1990, Dick Tracy. Now, this was a big deal. This was post Tim Burton Batman. So everything was trying to look like the Tim Burton Batman, because that movie just changed everything, which is massive what it did. Like, as far as, like, superhero movies and just, like, any comic book story. I mean, it was 1978 Superman, and then the 1989 Batman that just blew everything up. So everything tried to look like it for a while. And Dick Tracy, even though he's not really like a Batman type superhero or super character, they try to make him into a superhero. Warren Beatty directed it. The great Warren Beatty has the same birthday as me. Yeah, that always excited me. But yeah. So Madonna plays the femme fatale in this movie. She plays Breathless Mahoney. And I'm not going to spoil anything more than that. She plays Breathless Mahoney. If you haven't seen the movie, and you should. I mean, it's so colorful, so like it looks like really looks like a comic book come to life, with like the makeup effects and everything. And Madonna is fabulous as Breathless Mahoney, playing this kind of Marilyn Monroe, Jean Harlow, you know, Lana Turner type, you know, vampy 40s, like, femme fatale. It is so good.
I'm wearing black underwear.
And yeah, it's just a fantastic role. And, at the time it was kind of like, Madonna and Warren Beatty were like getting it on. That was like all in the news. And that's why in Truth or Dare, you see Warren Beatty hanging around because, hey, they were kind of had a thing going. Who didn't Madonna have a thing with? She was like, that's what else she was known for. Key to the city, let me tell you. But Dick Tracy is just it's a fantastic movie. Holds up pretty well, I would say, as far as superhero movies. So yeah, definitely check out Dick Tracy. I wish I had a copy of it, and it's like difficult to find on DVD, and I believe it's on some of the streaming services that I don't care to subscribe to. Like if it's on Disney Plus can go to hell. This is my rant on Disney today. You own too much. You have too much money. Big CEO sitting in a chair, making so much money, screwing everybody else, putting them in the streets because you don't want to pay them a little bit more for their contributions. To hell with you, to hell with Disney, to hell with Disney Plus. Should be taken off the air and just forgotten about. No Disney Plus and chill for me. Forget it. So that's my rant for today. Alright, we're in the top 2, everybody. Coming in number 2, A League of Their Own. This is a great movie. Just recently made into a streaming series, I believe on Amazon Prime. Have not watched that series. Maybe I have too much of an attachment to the movie to do so. But yeah, this is a classic movie, all-girl baseball team in the 1940s, 1943, based on a true story, directed by the great Penny Marshall, Laverne DeFazio herself. Yeah, love this movie. And I mean, there's just so many great performances. I mean, I got Gina Davis, who was like very popular at the time. One of my favorite actresses. She's so gorgeous and just a great actress. Tom Hanks, of course, one of the great Tom Hanks performances. It's probably like a real breakout Tom Hanks performance. I mean, he was like doing some great stuff at this time and really becoming known. Just about to go on to start winning Oscars. I mean, yeah. And then Madonna with dark hair. So it was a big deal. Madonna's in the movie, but she's trying to look different. And she's great in this. There's this classic scene, one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and one of the best scenes where Tom Hanks' character, he's an old drunk. He bursts into the women's locker room, and he goes to take the longest pee you're ever, probably the longest pee scene ever filmed. And it's so funny. And then Madonna has this great line.
Boy, that was some good peeing.
Just a feel-good movie, and really can't go wrong with this movie, A League of Their Own. Just absolutely love it. But the number 1 has to be Desperately Seeking Susan. This is my favorite Madonna movie, and probably a favorite of a lot of people who are Madonna fans, because this is basically Madonna playing herself. It's like she's so huge, she's such a big star, we gotta put her in a movie, let's put her in this movie. And yeah, Desperately Seeking Susan, so stars Rosanna Arquette as a woman who wants to be this woman, Susan, played by Madonna, is just basically Madonna. She wants to be Madonna. Who didn't want to be Madonna in the 80s? And yeah, it's just such a great movie. Susan Seidelman, who was like an up-and-coming director at the time, directed a movie called Smithereens. It was actually really cool about the new wave scene of like New York and Los Angeles in like the late 70s or early 80s. And Aidan Quinn stars in this. He's one of the guys in it. You got some other, got Laurie Metcalf, comedian Stephen Wright, one of the great underrated stand-up comedians. Also, very young John Turturro, great character actor. Still see him and stuff to this day. So a lot of stars who kind of went on to stuff, but really it's about It's about Madonna. She is just so cool in this. When she turns over the hand dryer thing and starts like doing her armpits, oh my god, that is so cool. So Desperately Seeking Susan is my favorite Madonna movie. So that's how I liked Madonna filmography. If you're a Madonna fan, I hope you enjoyed this. That's it for this week. Until we meet again, this is Brett Strong saying good journey.